Hello, Capricorn. You have luck. This says you may find you are right in the middle of a situation at present, or that something is stuck in circles, and this could be caused by overreactions or too much interference. It's time to let things progress at their own pace. Limes bring luck with them, so take a chance and be ready for the ups and downs this energy brings, but know that time is on your side. Don't overplan and be open to letting complexities unravel on their own. All right, my angels. So this actually is a card of Capricorn, so that's pretty important too, that it's aligned to your energy. But anyway, hello, welcome and welcome back to my channel. We're going to be going over a reading for you over whenever you guys are watching this right now. I'm going to do it a bit like a timeless one. Whenever you're seeing this, whenever you're watching this is a message that Spirit wants to pass on to you. All right, my angels, so let's just dive straight in. So we have the card of luck being here and limes being important, and all the cards are jumping out already. So clearly going to have a lot of messages. Let's dive in. What is something that you want to pass on to Capricorn? What messages do they need to hear right now? Ooh, no place like home. So that, of course, could be highlighting that your home space is important. Sometimes that also represents the body, right? No place like home can be you going in within. Very Virgo energy, this one as well. So it is a bit about being a bit of a hermit. So lots of messages coming through. You guys could be really going within, really doing some soul searching, really trying to figure out who you are, what your energy is, what are you putting out into the world, what do you want to attract back. You guys could definitely be outgrowing situations as well. I always see it like that. You guys are raising your vibration, exiting karmic cycles, which is interesting because the luck card did say that you felt like you're in cycle. So going within, going into your home, your mind, your heart, maybe even your actual home space could be important to clear out too, so you can get rid of any stuck or stagnant energy. So that's very important. We have a number 5 here, which represents change, necessary changes. But it feels like you're really finding out your inner light. I think that's important to say. So I would say with this card, make sure that you are protecting your boundaries, and maybe even to establish new boundaries if you've not got any already during the time that you're watching this, okay? So you can break some cycles, even boundaries with yourself, right? If you've been trying to save money, but you're just really frivolous, then it's time to start saying to yourself, no, this is what I'm going to start doing. I can control my my energy, where I'm putting it and what I'm doing with it. So that's important. Okay, boundaries with yourself and others. Anywho, so we got a lot of messages already for you guys. Let's see what else we got for you. So the tea leaf tarot is just going to give you a couple random ones. Okay, or a few. First one that came out was happiness. Okay, so that's awesome. Could be receiving some flowers. Goldfish says that there will be an increase in material wealth or spiritual growth. I definitely feel spiritual growth, but I'm manifesting for you that it's also material wealth. And then diamond, you'll be receiving or giving a precious gift. Alrighty, well, expect that to come in for you. Let's dive into your tarot. Let's see what messages Spirit has for you. For my gorgeous Capricorns, please, Spirit, current energy that's going on around Capricorn. Page of Cups, a lot of feelings, maybe a lot linked to childhood or family. Let's see how you are showing up. It's an emotional time for you, basically, with the Page of Cups. You're showing up as a tower. Boom, boom, boom. It doesn't have to be a bad thing. I know the noise I made wasn't the best, but it does feel a little bit like this is you kind of. So what they're showing me is that you're being quite energetic, and what they're visually showing me is like lightning coming off of you, or I want to call you a magnet, but what's the word for it, guys? I'm seeing that you're actually not being struck by lightning. It's not a prediction, by the way, guys, but it feels a little bit like there's something energetic about you, and I wonder if that Spirit's trying to, I don't know. What would you guys say about that imagery? You guys let me know what you think about that. But either way, you guys are showing up as transformation and maybe a bit like destruction. You guys could really be, showing me a bit like Pokemon. I don't know. It's like sparks coming out someone when they change, right? You're transforming, but it does again come from destruction when the Tower card comes in. What does that mean? You're cutting people off. You're deciding to say no to certain things. You're changing who you are. It's quite destructive because what happens is things start to fall away. To be built back together again in a better way. So that's what I'm seeing here. I'm going to clarify though. Oh, let's see. What is the Page of Cups doing here? Is the overall energy surrounding Capricorn when they're watching this? King of Wands reverse is an interesting one. So it could be a fire sign in your life who's not behaving very well. A manager even as well sometimes can come up as that. Page of Cups. Why is this the energy going on? And a 10 of Wands. So what I'm feeling here is feeling sick and tired of carrying a very heavy weight over something. And I don't know if this is, someone that you felt a bit attached to, maybe a fire sign, Leo, Sag, Aries, or just someone who may have played you in a way. There could still be some feelings that you guys have been holding on to or not realizing that you've been carrying that you could really be starting to release. There's a little fruit fly over here. Excuse me, sir. 10 of Wands is a heavy release, right? Coming to the end of a difficult chapter in your life, which is good news. Let's figure it out. You're closing out a chapter. What is the importance of this Page of Cups? What is the significance? Ooh. 7 of Wands. So that's a card of resistance to me. Lately it's been coming up as resistance, which is interesting. So what have you been resisting? Can I ask or answer that? Ooh, what is that? Is that a 2 of Cups? No, it's not the wall. Okay. So the wall is a new beginning. So what have you been resisting? A change. Cycles, right? Ending old cycles. So I wonder if this is in the form of habits. Either way, the 10 of Wands is, maybe situations that friendships that you're always the one to put the effort in, or relationships where it feels like you're always the one to put the effort in, or taking the blame in some way, or again, maybe dealing with a difficult manager. Like, it just feels like there's a specific person around you who might be a bit manipulative, not gonna lie. When the King of Wands is reversed, it can be very narcissistic even as well, not to throw things around, but this is definitely something that you are closing a cycle around. Because King of Wands has a very big ego. And that's not a bad thing if you're a good person, if you're confident in yourself. But when it's reversed, it's a bit spiteful. It's a bit like having a certain persona on the outside, but really not being a very caring, kind person within. So that could be something that's going on here. I also get the sense that you guys are actually going to be changing your energy in a way that I feel like you're going to start being more passionate about things in your life and being a bit more ambitious about where life is going. So whatever you guys are letting go of and feeling cool to let go of and to cry out, right? The Page of Cups feels a bit like purging to me, really releasing those feelings and emotions, maybe doing some somatic healing or anything that helps you to shift trauma or feelings, is going to be very important. And the wall, what you've been resisting is a new cycle. Can I ask why? This card, I have to pull it out because it's just looking at me. 2 of Cups. Well, that's the one I thought would come out. Because of 2 of Cups. You've been resisting a new beginning because of 2 of Cups. Now, that can, of course, be a person. You love someone, right? You care for them at least. But something's just too much for you, right? King of Swords, again, needing to place boundaries here in certain people. Okay, why is the Tower card in the energy of Capricorn? The Hermit, that's exactly what I was saying about the no place like home. So this is you transforming yourself because you're starting to see things from a higher perspective. The Hermit. You're analyzing things. I do also see that you are really I'm hearing like, why did it all go wrong? That's what I'm hearing. So this is you really reflecting on things, and maybe this is you starting to, jolt some lightning down into your life so you can change certain things to transform. Okay. To let go of fears, worries, emotional buildup, things that you've been holding on to in the shadows, in the nighttime, letting go of fears, worries, doubts, and any situation that feels a bit like a nightmare, right? Keeping you up at night. And can I know what that might be? Now, the Hermit can be a very spiritual card, right? So maybe you guys have been through a bit of a dark night of the soul, but it does look like you guys are releasing that. Let's see. What exactly is the Tower doing in Capricorn's energy? What is shifting? What is Ace of Wands? So what's shifting seems to be that 3 of Swords as well. Hierophant. Some of you are getting over a divorce or, a broken marriage or heartache in a marriage or connection. in commitments that maybe you had that are now falling apart. The Ace of Wands seems to be the product that comes out from this. So again, as I said, more creativity, more ambition, new ideas. And I feel like with the Ace of Wands, it is about freedom in a way. One more for the Tower. What is being let go of? Eight of Cups, things that just don't serve you emotionally. The Queen of Cups being there is a little bit of that confirmation that you are an empath. You're a very sweet, very, very nice person. When the Queen of Cups comes in, you're very caring. You have a very, you might find that you're a very difficult person in terms of maybe what you see in others. Meaning that I feel like your heart's very pure when the Queen of Cups comes in. Now, nobody's perfect, but it is a sense that what you offer is something very different. So it's something very unique about you and the way that you love and the way that you nurture and care for others. You're a trophy in a way. So I think this is you understanding your worth and understanding what you bring to the table in terms of your heart space. And walking away from things that just can't give that back to you. So again, we're kind of seeing that you're kind of rebalancing things in your life and walking away from things that just are not giving you the same back. And this is something that you're learning and making progress in because of this. So difficult action. Again, the Tower card, you're placing boundaries. You're, cutting people out. You're outgrowing situations. Like I've been saying, you're really understanding your true value within. So that's the whole energy that's going on around this time for you. And again, I do feel like you're going to start seeing a lot more ambitiousness, a lot more creativity, a lot more fun in your life and freedom. All right, what's the challenge that might arise at this time that Capricorn's watching this video? The challenge is a Five of Cups. So that's the disappointment. All right, difficult feelings that might come up as well when you have to do the things that you're having to do, right? Why is this a challenge? I had someone's in bed rest, but that's not prediction. That would be something that you might relate to already. The Five of Cups and the Lovers can be about feeling disappointed in your choices. In a way, it could also be in disappointments in your life in general in terms of love, right? With the Lovers here, maybe about situations in love that may be causing some difficult feelings and emotions. The Five of Cups always comes in with advice of, and especially with the Lovers here, I'm going to say that Spirit's wanting you to really remember or look into what you're choosing to focus on, because everything's a bit of a choice, isn't it? Or most things anyway. And here, if we're focusing on what we've lost and the pessimistic side of things, and of course we're making a choice to stay in an energy that's not fulfilling for you either. So it's a little bit about making better choices. Now, the Lovers, of course, Gemini energy can be about love. So your challenge right now is that there is difficulty in your dynamics. I'm going to see what your advice is. The Death card here again is that change that's going on. What's the advice that you have for Capricorn right now? Seven of Cups. So a couple of things. Process your feelings and emotions, right? But don't let them rule you either. Healthy balance is important. Why is this the advice card, please? Seven of Pentacles jumping on top of here. 7 and 7 as advice, which actually can be a lucky number. It's my lucky number. I got tattooed there for it. It's my life path number. That's why. So let me know if you're in life path number 7. But let's see. Why is this advice? Because both of these are a bit of stuck energy, not gonna lie. So I want to figure out what this is. Why is this the advice? What exactly is the advice with the 7 of... Okay, 9 of Cups and a 10 of Cups. Queen of Swords about your boundaries, especially when it comes down to protecting your peace. With the High Priestess being here, it's also about, unconscious cycles that you might find yourself needing to get clearer on, right? Needing to really address what you might be letting into your life, what you might be focusing on, feeling deep down, right? It's all about really addressing that. 7 of Cups, 7 of Pentacles as advice is just pay attention to maybe... 7 of Cups in this, as you can see, is a little bit going away with the fairies, a little bit being ungrounded. The 7 of Pentacles is a bit, I wonder if there is temptation to work on something or to... The 9 and the 10 of Cups jumping up over there really seems like they want you to pay attention to your happiness and what you deserve as an outcome. 10 of Cups, what you visualize for your overall happiness. And I wonder if in a way this is a little bit like not to go back to old habits, or to think that the way that you've done things so far might somehow work again. It's about really needing to change and to see things clearly is what I would say. To trust your gut instincts during this time. So let's see, where is the luck? Where is the luck, Spirit? What's that? Ace of Swords. It's truth, it's clarity, it's victory in the end. And I guess in a way, it's happiness after the war that you've been through, or difficulty that you've been through, right? The Nine of Wands is the wounded warrior. So someone who's been in a very big fight and fear that you're never going to escape a cycle is what it feels like. So the luck is that you can come out of this situation and have a completely different life once you maybe understand this truth, heal, reflect, go within, observe things through a different lens and transform. So it's quite a big time for you. And I guess the luck is the outcome of this major life lesson of your value. Mainly, I'm just going to dive a bit deeper into, we'll keep those there, into these two energies. Why is the Five of Cups and the Lovers the challenge? Can we dive a bit deeper into that? The Ten of Swords, it is about making endings, right? And the Five of Swords is about conflicts and endings. So your challenge is your choices you're having to make. But like I said, the lightning that I feel like is coming off of you might not even be just your choices. It might just be that people stop falling away because you're changing. Maybe they can't, take advantage of you anymore because you're setting boundaries, or maybe it's your own habits and your own choices that are starting to shift. In a way, the Five of Swords does ask you to pick your battles, whatever you feel like you are being rejected from, or who you're being in conflict with, or what starts to fall away, or what you have to, push away. It does feel like all of this is kind of leading to a massive transformation within yourself and your identity and your life. I really feel like your life is going to change. And I'm not just saying that, I really mean it. I feel like not only is your life going to change, but who you are is also going to change with it. And it's a massive upgrade. And again, they're saying it's moving into luck, which is just crazy. I feel like you have no idea how much life will change over the next year. But the energy that's showing up for you right now is that you're already going through the changes. The Five of Swords, like having to, take the L sometimes, right? When people just don't agree, or some people might not want to be a part of your world, or maybe, you're having to decide that actually maybe they're not the right part from my world and what I want. So it's hard decisions is what it feels like with the Five of Swords, and can be about conflict. But again, Ten of Swords about endings. It just feels like difficult feelings, having to do difficult things is what's coming up, but it's all about you breaking cycles. Can even be about letting things go that you enjoy, right? If it's screen time, or if it's certain, thing that you like, but you know that it's not good for you, right? It's just that kind of energy of having to go through the very natural, difficult emotions of disappointment, of having to let go of something that maybe you were attached to in some way, or had expectations of, or I don't know what you guys are going through. But as I said, remember, there's a lot of growth, a lot of, I will say, because it says diamond with material wealth, I really do feel like this is really going to change your financial situation. A lot. It does feel gradual. I'm not going to say that you're going to just win $1 million overnight. But it is this energy that you're showing up, you're starting to show up differently. Ooh, which therefore means that life will show up differently for you too. But anyway, so very major. I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to grab you in a little affirmation, so bear with. Let's see, what is something that Capricorn really needs to hear right now when watching this video? Okay, let's see. Ooh, I like that. It says, I'm in control of my thoughts, feelings, and choices. So there we go. You're in control. You are the creator of your life. What you think about yourself becomes your reality. Be gentle with yourself, compassionate, and trust yourself. You control your reality. Ooh, well, that makes a lot of sense with what we were talking about. So I'm going to leave it at that, my gorgeous angels. If you enjoyed this reading, make sure you guys like and subscribe, and leave a little comment about how, or maybe affirming that affirmation would be a good idea. But I also have personal readings that should be out right now. I'm not sure when you're watching this, but go and check out on my website. The links will be down below. I'm doing a little offer right now, so make sure you go check that out if you would like a personal reading with me. But aside from all that, I send you my love. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you guys next time, okay?